goodness. So excited. I hope she's here. Yes? Okay. She's only 28, yet this young woman has lived many lives. I can say this. A single mom, cancer survivor, author, veteran. I am so honored to have been such a close part of her process just this past week as we delved deep into her stories. And you guys, let's just give a warm welcome to Tiara Rice. Thank you.
Whoa, it's definitely different being up here. How is everybody doing? All right. Thank you, Katie. I first want to start off with a poem that I wrote in October 2015. It was a writing prompt, and it's titled, You Burn Me. You burn me. I watch you, a body away from my body. I watch you. Your fingers trail over my skin, sending shivers down my spine, making my hair stand on end. Smoke rises from where your fingers touch. You are unaware, of course, but I see. I watch your eyes rake up and down my body as you hungrily lick your lips. I am frozen. I watch you enter my sacred temple, and the burn, the fire searing through me, the pain of it is unbearable. A tear runs down my cheek, this violation. Soon I thaw out and I scream, kicking and pushing, no longer a body outside of my body. I watch you laugh at my futile attempts as you continue your unwanted visit in my temple. You dig deep, searching for hidden treasures. I watch you sigh, for you have found what you seek. As you leave my temple, my breath follows. The burn follows, smoke follows. The flames recede, but something stays behind. Refusing to leave, the pain. In my dripping pain, I watch you take the treasure you have stolen from me, the innocence, the life. I watch your back as you walk away, still smiling, knowing you burn me. Now, immediately, an experience that I had while I was in the military came back to me, and I wonder if subconsciously I was thinking about this when I wrote this poem. It was the year 2012, and I'm stationed in Fort Linwood, Missouri, aka Missouri, for those who don't know, where there's nothing to do but go to strip clubs, drink your fucking ass off, and hunt. I only did 2 of the 3. It was the first time that I ever fell in love with a man, because I only dated women before him. His name was Kyle. He was stationed in Fort Campbell, which is in Tennessee, about 6 hours away. And I remember we were very intimate, having a great time. Sex was great, it was hot, it was steamy as it should be. And we switched positions. You know, you gotta switch it up some. I'm in this weird spread eagle thing on the floor, and he's doing his thing, and then I realized it hurt. And I told him, it hurts, stop, it hurts. And he grinned at me and kept going. And he kept going, and he kept going. Until he was done, and I sat there on the floor and hugged my knees, and I cried. And you know what he did? He laughed at me. I guess he thought he was more drunk than I was, but that's not an excuse. He laughed at me, and I just stared at him. The first man I ever loved, who hurt me more than anybody's ever hurt me before, as he laughed at me. And unfortunately, this isn't the first or the last negative sexual experience I had. If we go back in time to when I was 5, and I was born in Detroit, and I used to spend my summers, when we finally moved to New York, I used to spend my summers in Detroit with my grandmother. But when she was at work, I stayed with a babysitter, a sweet old woman, probably like her 70s. Her name was Irma, and she had a husband named Duke. And Duke was a carpenter, and he liked to build things in his area down in the basement, and he also liked to touch me. But of course, me being 5, daughter of a single mother, this is the only father figure I have right now. I didn't think anything of it. And there was one time that we went to the basement, and I was building with him. I remember smashing my finger with a hammer. I got my first blood blister. Something else happened, and to this day I don't recall what it is because I've completely blocked it out. But I'll never forget After I finally moved to New York with my mom full time, no summers in Detroit, I told her that Duke used to touch me. And she said, "Why didn't you tell me? I would have killed that motherfucker." And I was like, "I don't know. I was five. I didn't think anything of it." But let's fast forward to after I graduated high school. I'm 17, graduated of TZ. Once a Dutchman, always a Dutchman. Back again in Detroit, visiting family. And I'm visiting my cousin, and I'm staying with her and her husband and her stepdaughter, and her stepdaughter is 2 years older than me. And she said she was going out with friends, and I'm so excited because I get to hang out with these 19 and 20-year-olds. Like, look at me. Now, I was a good kid. I didn't drink, I didn't do any of that. So when I went out with them trying to be cool, had drinks, a whole big bottle of wine cooler did me in. Don't laugh, it did me in. But I remember it was her and two other girls, and then there was a group of guys. And they were all cute, and they all thought I was cute. And I'm like, oh my God, these little guys think I'm cute. And we were supposed to go to one of their houses to hang out some more. And somehow I ended up in the car with all the guys, and then ended up in a room with all the guys. And all I remember is sex and this and this and this and this. And then the stepdaughter's friend coming in, and all of a sudden I sobered up and I was like, what the fuck is happening? So I quickly got dressed and I walked outside, and there was Nicole, the stepdaughter, and like one of the dudes, and they were sitting around in a circle laughing at something. And Nicole runs to me, she's like, girl. I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, they recorded you. They're gonna put it on the internet. And I'm like, oh my God, are you fucking kidding? And I just started crying. I started crying. And I remember going back to my cousin's house that night and taking a bath and douching and feeling like the most disgusting creature on the planet, because drink or no drink, there was 5 guys and one of me, and you know, they felt the need to record it because who am I? And every year since, for like, probably till I graduated college, I checked. Any variation of 5 guys, 1 girl, black girl named Tiara, anything like that to see if they really did post it. And blessedly, I didn't find anything. But let's fast forward to more, to when I graduated from Temple. Woo, go me. And ROTC, track, jobs, like everything. I was doing everything I could to get anywhere in life. And I went out with one of my friends who did ROTC with me. And we met this guy who was an exchange student from France. And he seemed really cool. And we all made plans to hang out with him and his friends the next day. No harm in that. And so the next day comes, and we're dressed to our nines, and you know, looking sexy and shit. We're about to get fucked up, have fun, you know, whatever. So I dream a little bit more now, but still not as much as I probably, you know, whatever, could be, which is a good thing. So we go out, and there's like 12 of us. It's a big group. We go to this fancy lounge, like, fancy. I don't even know where his money came from to pay for it, but we all had fun. And I'm drinking something new, rum and cokes. Dark liquor, and I don't agree, ever. And so I don't recall, we were supposed to go somewhere else, and I don't recall if he went to his apartment to change clothes or what it is, but I went with him. And we were flirting, we were doing this and that, but I made it clear I didn't want to have any sexual content more than the flirting we were doing. And you know, he took it upon himself to pull my shorts aside and insert himself into my situation. And I immediately I fought back. I used my heels, I kicked against him, and I ran into his kitchen. I opened up drawers and I was trying to look for a knife. And then I'm like, the drawers are empty. And how does an exchange, even your exchange student, how do you have no fucking utensils? I'm like, what the hell else can I use in that here? And I run into his living room, and I find this standing lamp, and I grab it and I hold it like this, and I say, I promise I won't tell anybody. Please just let me leave. Let me leave. I promise I won't tell anybody. I just want to go home. And it took me 3-4 attempts before he finally let me leave, because I was screaming so loudly and making such a fuss. And I bolted through that door and ran down 12 flights of stairs, breaking my favorite shoes in the process, and ran out, and there was a cop on a bike. Holy Allah, Jesus, you know, higher power. Thank you. But what I said to him was, I just got attacked, but I won't tell anybody. Please just give me $2 to take the bus and go home. And you know what he did? He gave me $2 to take the bus to go home. Didn't take my statement, didn't do anything, didn't notice the broken heels, the torn clothes, nothing like that. Just gave me $2 to go home. And it was that experience, which unfortunately was not the last, and those experiences I share today are not the only ones, but it was that experience and other experiences of women before me that made me realize that I don't ever want a daughter. I don't, because I have no idea how I fucking handle that shit if something like that happened to me. But the universe said in 2013, no, Tara, I don't think you need to be pregnant with a daughter. And so, 2014 in June, she's 3 now, she's gorgeous. I hold her and she's thinking like this. And I realized then that I'm supposed to have this daughter. I'm supposed to teach her strength. I'm supposed to teach her resiliency and let her know that unfortunately you're gonna be in some shitty situations, but I'm going to make sure you're prepared. And I want you to remember that you are not alone, and I will be there for you should you go through anything, your first broken heart, you fail a test, whatever. And I want you to know what your mother did and become a Wonder Woman, and know that no matter what, nevertheless, she persisted.